Good morning. Our reading today is to be found in Mark chapter 13, reading from verses 21 to 37. Mark 13, 21 to 37. William Barclay, the famous Scottish theologian, describes Mark 13 as one of the most difficult chapters in the New Testament for a modern reader to understand. That is so because Mark 13 is one of the most Jewish chapters in the Bible, he says. From beginning to end, it is thinking in terms of Jewish history and Jewish ideas. All through it, Jesus is using terms and pictures which were very familiar to the Jews of his day, but which are very strange and indeed unknown to many modern readers. Even so, it is not possible to disregard this chapter and simply slip over it, because this chapter is the source of many ideas about the second coming of Jesus. The difficulty about the doctrine of the second coming is that nowadays people are apt either completely to disregard it and never even to think about it, or they're apt to become so completely unbalanced about it that it becomes for them practically the only doctrine of the Christian faith. It may be that if we study this chapter with some care, we may come to a wise and sane and correct view about this doctrine. Well, our reading this morning starts with Jesus leaving the temple and sitting across from the temple with Peter, James, John and Andrew on the Mount of Olives. And so from verse 21, "Then if anyone says to you, 'Look, here is the Messiah,' or 'Look, there he is,' do not believe him. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear. They will perform miracles and wonders in order to deceive even God's chosen people, if possible. Be on your guard. I have told you everything before the time comes." In the days after that time of trouble, the sun will grow dark, the moon will no longer shine, the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers in space will be driven from their courses. Then the Son of Man will appear, coming in the clouds with great power and glory. He will send the angels out to the four corners of the earth to gather God's chosen people from one end of the world to the other. Let the fig tree teach you a lesson. When its branches become green and tender and it starts putting out leaves, you know that summer is near. In the same way, when you see these things happening, you will know that the time is near, ready to begin. Remember that all these things will happen before the people now living have all died. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. No one knows, however, when that day or hour will come, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, only the Father knows. Be on watch, be alert, for you do not know when the time will come. It will be like a man who goes away from home on a journey and leaves his servants in charge, after giving to each one his own work to do, and after telling the doorkeeper to keep watch. Be on guard then, because you do not know when the master of the house is coming. It might be in the evening, or at midnight, or before dawn, or at sunrise. If he comes suddenly, he must not find you asleep. What I say to you then is, watch." Amen, and may God add his blessing to the reading and hearing of his holy word. Amen.